what we have is a situation where some people seem to be reading the newspapers every day, and if there's a big episode, it shows that the strategy is failing. That's not a mature way to look at it, and we desperately need some people looking at this in a mature way right now. McCain, I think, has set an example for that, because when you listen to the speech that he made, this is the judgment. It's a very sober judgment, a very serious speech, probably the best speech that's been made on Iraq, certainly this year, and maybe in some time.
Hi, this is Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Monday, April 16th, 2007. That was Brit Hume on Fox News Sunday yesterday, explaining why when the Iraqi insurgents bombed the Iraqi parliament, that's actually a sign that the surge is working and we've got the insurgents on the run. Most of what we were watching yesterday on the Sunday shows, of course, what we were focused on was Alberto Gonzales. He's testifying up on Capitol Hill on Tuesday, and from what we saw on the Sunday shows, there's still a lot of people who don't think there's really any evidence that anything was done wrong here. Yesterday, on Sunday, there was an article in the Albuquerque Journal that for the first time pointed to a direct role for President Bush in the firing of David Iglesias. Here's Senator Specter responding to that article.
Do you believe the president was involved in this?
No, there's no reason to think that the president has been involved. George, I'm looking for hard facts. I'm not going to make a judgment on this matter about what appears in the newspapers.
Was any of these people removed for an improper purpose, whether he was involved or not involved? And the answer so far is there is no evidence to that. It's really incumbent upon those who are casting aspersions on him and on the administration to show the evidence, if there is any, and so far there is not, that any prosecution was stopped because of this or that it was done for that purpose.
Senator, comment.
Let's get back to the original question, which is, what was wrong to begin with? Was somebody fired improperly? And there is, as yet, no evidence that that occurred.
And in point of fact, Wolf, right now we've got about 6,000 to 8,000 pages that they've gone through. There is no smoking gun. So while
that it's some sort of criminal action.
That they were fired for political reasons, and this wasn't, as DOJ and the White House has maintained, this wasn't done for performance reasons. And in point of fact, they did have a couple of examples of cases where perhaps they weren't the best of managers.
Okay, we're a little more suspicious than Andrea Koppel is about this whole scandal, but whether she wants him to or not, Alberto Gonzales is testifying up on the Hill on Tuesday, and we're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you the 5 things we're going to be looking for from Gonzales' testimony.
Gonzales has 2 things going for him on Tuesday. One is the Democrats on that committee are absolutely terrible at asking questions. They are incompetent questioners. As they illustrated during the Roberts and Alito hearings, they like to talk much more than they like to ask questions. So that's a big thing that Gonzales has going for him.
Okay, we think Jeff Toobin may have a point. In Kyle Sampson's testimony, the questions weren't quite as specific and direct as we would have liked, and there were a lot of follow-up questions we wanted to hear, which we didn't. So, going forward, here are the 5 questions we'd like to see asked of Alberto Gonzales when he testifies on Tuesday. And in fairness, these questions are cribbed from Senator Schumer's list of 10 questions that he wanted to hear. So, question number 1 for Alberto Gonzales, a full account of his communications with Karl Rove regarding everything to do with the U.S. Attorney story. Question 2, a full account of Alberto Gonzales' conversations, interactions with the President of the United States on the U.S. Attorney story. Number 3, just how did David Iglesias get on the firing list? When did it happen? Who put him there, etc.? Now, question 4, a specific timeline of Alberto Gonzales' involvement in the entire U.S. Attorney purge. He said originally he was only marginally involved. It's clear that's not the case. So specifically, how was he involved? What meetings? What timeline, etc.? Finally, for Alberto Gonzales, with the Department of Justice employees who've already testified, what in what they've testified to is inaccurate and why? So those are the 5 questions we're going to be watching on Tuesday to see if the questions get asked, whether they get answered. This is Josh Marshall from TPM Media, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.